Hello, welcome to Friday Night Chalk Bite with Michelle and Mike. And I'm just getting our cameras situated here. There we are. I don't think I'm in the picture yet. Okay. Um, Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm an independent designer with Chalk Couture. And this is my husband, Mike, Duck Dynasty Batters. And he's joining me tonight. We're having a little battle. Sorry about that, a little feedback going on there. So I am excited. This is our first, I still have the thing going. There it goes. Huh. Our thing is not, why is it interrupted? Okay. This is our first episode of Friday Night Chalk Bite. For people who don't know Mike and I, we both are creative people, and Mike does beautiful cross stitch and all. And I was going to have you bring up Chalky. I forgot about that. The way this whole thing started was Mike would get into the Chalk Couture items, the transfers and the pastes and the inks and all, and he upcycled a big pickle jar and made it a hanging fish bowl. We have several cats in the house, and so this had to be something that would hang and keep them safe and sound. And I posted it on one of my pages, and someone said, "Oh, that's so great! That's fun that your husband crafts, and you guys should do something together." So this is how it was born, this whole idea. And if you are coming in, please, say hi to us. We'd love to talk to you. We're counting on you to help us out tonight because we are both doing a project, a different project, but we're using the same transfer. For those of you who aren't familiar with Chalk Couture, we are a company, relatively new company, and we create transfers. And they're reusable transfers. And we have surfaces. Tonight we're not using Chalk Couture surface. We're using, I guess, what you can call upcycled or found items. And these transfers can be used over and over again. This one's called our modern motif. And I just lost my marker, magic marker. Is there one over there? I saw one. I wonder if I put it in. Yeah, here it is. So the reason I was looking for my marker is, like I said, our transfers are reusable. And there's two surfaces, modern florals. And I forgot how I forgot how to spell. And our backer paper is two different textures. The one is more of a paper texture, and the other, when you pull it back, it's going to let me pull it back. Of course. Always does it when you're. Yeah.
I'm not going to be helped without nails. There we go.
Okay. So what you can see is, thank you, Mike, that there's a glossy side, and after your transfer is clean, you want to put it back on the right side so that you can get it off easily again. So we are going to get started in a minute. Mike is doing more of a sign item, piece of wood that you can put atop your
It's a
door.
slat from a
palette.
palette.
Okay. And he's going to be a little more involved in his. Mine, I'm going to be doing a paste design on top of a stool that he rescued from trash and painted for me, so he given me a leg up. But we're hoping that once you see our projects that you'll decide which one you like better, and it's all in good fun. We won't be angry with the other one for very long. You know, we're not competitive people, are we?
No.
Not at all. Not at all. You know, we won't go to bed angry. We'll just go to bed. And but it's all in good fun. So I'm gonna step aside and let Mike start. I'm hoping that you do enjoy it, and I'll tell you a little more about Couture as Mike is working on his project. So I'll step aside. And again, please say hi if you come in. I know people could be watching, and we don't know that they're watching. So please do comment. And if you do catch this on a replay, in the comments put hashtag replay and which project was your favorite. I'd appreciate that. The other end was.
I know, but I want to use this side.
Oh, well, I mean, you can still pull it. So what Mike's attempting to do at the moment is this is our fuzzing towel. And as I said, our transfers are reusable, so there's an adhesive. There it is. And so he's going to fuzz it. Now it's easier to pull. Yeah, you don't want it to fall on itself. Okay, he's just using a portion of it. This is a big transfer. But the reason he's fuzzing it is to take some of the stick off. Our fuzzing towel, the side with the tag, is the side that is good for the fuzzing, and the other side is the microfiber side, which is good for cleaning. Yeah. Yeah, let me just get that. This is brand new transfer, so it must have picked something up from the fact that we have all these cats, we could have brought something up. But best laid plans, we're not going to worry about it. So Mike did take care of our paste. This is the one I'm using. I'm going to be using the peony. But it goes on, it's a paste. It goes on wet, but it dries hard. You see items behind us throughout while we're moving back and forth. And you'll be able to see the finished look before Mike and I get done our project or projects. So what he's doing right now is just lining it up. These are silk screens, and it is a material, it's a fabric. So when you do peel it and all, you don't want to just pull from the corner because you can distort your transfer. But Mike pre-stirred his pastes because he didn't want to take too much time.
I didn't want you watching me stir.
Yeah. And it's kind of like watching paint dry as it is, so we don't want to make it last too long of the non-essentials, but to let you know how it's done.
I'm going to try, I've only done simple.
I think you need a little more water. Splits. Yeah. He's doing multicolors.
I've only done simple patterns. So I'm going to try and do multicolor here. It's either going to be success or epic fail here.
Well, I'm proud of you no matter what happens.
Since the palette was free, there's no big loss.
And worst case scenario, you can sand it and paint it and use it for something else.
So I'm trying to keep the green out of the flowers, what I'm trying to do.
He's using our squeegee, our mini squeegee, and just spread it around. And you don't use a lot. As Mike gets the coverage, he'll go over it and scrape the excess off and put it right back into the jar. And he knows how to draw. He claims he doesn't, but he knows how to draw. And so
get that on the bottom of the transfer.
We can wipe it off. I am going to put this one light out and see if it makes a difference. I don't want to have a glare. See if that's better. Well, you think, no, it's not better. Okay, I'll put it back on. Trial and error here. But he can draw, and he can do counted cross stitch. He does beautiful work. And the thing is, you have to, one thing he's not familiar with is with these bigger patterns, he's going to have to pull the transfer up. And I have a heat gun, and he's going to have, and keeping it away from the transfer, dry this, because this, you want to start scraping the excess off. Okay.
At least this section.
Yeah, we'll do it. You have to work a little bit faster.
Yes, no,
just
fast work.
Just because what's going to happen is the silk screen is going to pull it up because it's drying in there. So you have to do a smaller section. So you need to pull this up, and the reveal's the fun part. So you can still keep stuff down, and I'll help you out here because we don't want to get it on the. We don't want to melt the transfer. Well, I just didn't want it to come off, just so that we're lining it up again. But the reason we're doing this is so he can lay the transfer back down to do his next color, and he won't push down on the part he already did. And this way, you won't risk. I'm just trying to. Yeah, see, it's dry now. This way, you won't risk pulling it back up. So you don't have to fuss with it. You didn't move the other parts, so. So that is because he's, like he said, he's done small transfers. This is his first multicolor. Is that right? And in large scale.
In large scale.
Right. Yeah. But this is called the peel and dry technique because he's working with the different colors. Hey, Kristen. Glad you could make it. You have to go back and watch the beginning when it's over to hear our banter. But what Mike's doing is he's working on a palette board to make a sign, and I'm losing my train of thought. The motif is a large floral motif, and he's learning by baptism by fire, so to speak, on how to do this.
Will either work or not.
Okay, so pull it back. Okay, get the excess off, because this is the pull and dry technique, so that the paste doesn't get stuck in the transfer, and pull it up. After all your hard work, you don't want to pull it up. So I'm giving him a helping hand, even though this is a competition. You can keep this one down.
I'm just going to take it off.
Okay. You're going to have fun lining it up. It could have been pulled it up. It could have dried a little, but it is a distressed look with the wood anyway.
It's a little too distressed.
For you? Okay. Well, what you may have to do is wipe it down, and a quick way to wipe it off is to use the disinfectant wipes. Why don't you put it on? So disinfectant wipes are a quick way to wash the transfer. And staining is normal, so when you're using a darker color, but once we're done with this, we have what's called a board eraser that we can use to get the excess off. But we just don't want to submerge this in water just yet, since I have to use it after him, and it would take a little longer to dry. And so on the back of the transfer, you only want water, and you want to wipe the surface off. So you don't lose your sticky. And then you can use that, and you're going to wipe the back part of the transfer. And again, you never want to rub, you just want to rub enough to get the paste off, because you don't want to lose the sticky. But for some reason, someone discovered that disinfectant wipes help reestablish the stick. So, okay. So he's going to attempt to realign his transfer. You have to turn it over. Yeah. What are you looking for? Oh, okay. It'll be okay, but why mess with the mess? Sorry for shaking. I'll just put this aside. There's some, I don't know, wow, that probably won't affect it. This side you don't have to worry about because it lined up okay, and you may, why does that keep happening? Let me check. Up, we froze. Okay. Make sure. Are we still there, Kristen? Or are we frozen? We keep fading in and out here. Why is that happening? Okay. Okay, now you sped up on the replay here. Oh, that's a good freeze. It shows the streaming, so I'm sorry if it's getting glitchy, guys. I don't know what to say. Okay. Is it freezing up? I'm just trying to connect with you guys just to make sure. I don't know what's going on. But Mike is just cleaning the transfer as he goes along.
I wanted to fix that green it's still going to be distressed.
Well, it's better.
That's the way it is.
It might be the surface, it's just not accepting the...
Well, I waxed it, so...
Yeah, well, that's the one thing we should tell you is when Mike is using a raw wood palette, and what you need to do in preparing something to protect your transfer and to get the best finished results is do some sanding so that it's smooth enough, and then you take a wax, just a generic wax, a clear wax or natural color wax. That's not lined up. Yeah. And the waxing helps protect your transfer. Keep freezing here. I don't know why we're getting such bad. Oh.
I didn't dry that. I'm trying to put it back on a wet surface.
Okay. You just like keep it away from the transfer. So, as I was saying, you wax the wood surface, and that helps the transfer not to pick up splinters You can use our transfers on most anything. Oh, come on. I don't know why we keep getting it. It keeps freezing up on us here. Okay. Looks like it's moving. But yes, you can use, as I was saying, you can use our transfers on most any surface. We don't recommend slate because even if you wax that, slate has a lot of layers to it, and unless it's a
Switching to blue here.
okay, yeah, we keep freezing.
Let's see.
I'm sorry about this, guys. We must be getting some kind of interference. Let's see where we are. It looks, yeah, I don't know why. I apologize. But yeah, so as I was saying, unless you're using a really old transfer that you don't care gets messed up, you don't use it on slate because the pieces would stick to the back of the transfer and make a mess of it, because our transfers are reusable on average of 10 to 12 times. But if you take good care of it, I've gotten more uses than 10, trust me. I did ornaments and things like that, and I got a ton of uses. I hope it appears things are going, but we're just not getting a real sharp image. I don't know if the wind, is it still windy out? The wind, it could be the wind. Let's see. I hope we're not losing you. Video interrupted again.
I think this stuff is drying too fast on me here.
Yeah, probably because it's not wet enough. We're losing signal. I hope we're broadcasting. It shows it here. Oh, that's pretty. I like that color. It shows it really pops. Are you using the same section to transfer on the other side?
Yes.
Well, I'm just making sure this is dry just in case you bump into it. You don't have to.
I think I'm going to do smaller sections.
Yeah, and I would thin the paste out just a little bit because maybe the texture of the wood. Okay, I'm hoping we're still broadcasting. All right. I'm sorry if we keep going in and out, guys. I really apologize. But it's very, very windy here. And if we did lose you and you're watching the replay, make sure you just type in hashtag replay and vote on which project you like best. And we're going to give the weekend or so for people who are going to catch it on replay so we can get as many votes as possible. Yeah. So it's. Are you done with the blue? You should put the lid on because it'll thicken up as it. It'll dry out some. So if you're done working with something, the red tends to be thinner.
Well, I'm doing a smaller area with this
Oh, did you want the multi tool?
Try that.
This is our multi-tool. It's a good stir stick and it's a good application tool for the small areas. Yeah, I think people are having a hard time watching this. I think it's getting choppy. Yeah, the wind really is messing up. Are you going to need the red again?
On the other side.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'll start wiping some of these little squeegees off. This one's a little more tedious. You can simplify things and customize it according to your preferences. That's a nice thing about Couture is that you could pick totally different colors than what Mike picked and get a completely different look. And that's the nice thing. Now, like we said in the beginning, Mike is doing a more involved process where mine is going to be one color, quick, like a bunny. So that, again, that's a nice thing to, if you have a lot of time to create, you can be as involved as you want. And if you don't have a lot of time, you can simplify it and just get it done. So you're doing a reverse? Okay. I didn't know what your plan was.
I just turned it around and it'll be the opposite reflection on this side.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
But I'm going to do smaller sections of green at a time this time.
I'm going to spritz it. We use distilled water. That's what you want to make sure you use in this because if you use regular water, I've been told that it can make your paste moldy, and that's the last thing you want to happen. So the distilled water and our sprayer is a real fine mist, so you have to use distilled water in that because the particles apparently are smaller. But you want your paste yogurt-like consistency. Yeah, I can't even have a hair in my mouth. Okay, looks like maybe the wind's died down a little bit. I hope people come back in. But see how that goes a little smoother with it thinner? And you're not wasting it. That's the nice thing. This is a 3-ounce jar. And that can go, you can go through a lot of projects because after you apply, you scrape off the excess and put it right back in the jar. And then when we're done with it, we'll scrape the edges and put a little spritz of water in the jar to help keep it from getting chunky while it's stored. Yeah, so yeah, get that section done. I wouldn't move over underneath the flower at this point.
No.
We can go, but you can go back.
This side might look a lot better than the other side.
But you're doing good. I'm just making sure. Well, oh, the video interrupted again. Wait a second. Are you in frame? You may have to move this up. Let me just check. Sorry if you're not in frame. Yeah, you may want to. What do you need? The dryer. the picture-in-picture's covering a little bit of it, so you have to move more center of the board. But yeah, this is a really beautiful transfer. This is the first time either of us is using it, and it is a large one. And the nice thing is, like with what Mike's doing, he's just getting portions of it. On my project, I'll capture a little more of the entire pattern, but I love when you have just something that looks like it falls off the edge. I think that's a neat effect, and I really love. I think it's cadet blue that you used on the flower on the one side, and it really pops off of this wood, but mine's really going to pop too. So this isn't going to be a freebie giveaway to you, No. And remember the saying, the kiss, keep it simple.
Yeah, I didn't
Sweetie.
remember that one, yes.
Sweetie. Okay.
Try to get our transfer on right on this side. So.
Hey, it happens. But if you're there, make sure you say hi. We need people to vote. Oh, we might be interrupted again. I don't know what to do in that situation if the wind is creating a problem. Now, Mike is going to be using two different transfer sets. The one he's using, the modern floral, that's the one I'll be using, but he'll also be using the family trio that has some wording on it. Yeah, you can go through a lot of,
Go through two of this stuff.
yeah, I think you've gone through more on this one project than I have on a few. Let me get the trash can and bring it over. Now the surface I'll be working on is a painted surface. So we're both working on wooden surfaces, but mine is a smooth surface, more it's furniture, where Mike is using the raw surface, giving that distressed look, which is very popular today, the farmhouse chic or boho chic. I hope that the wind is not ruining everything. There's quite a delay.
Oh, the green, right? Yeah.
Now, when it comes to my turn, we're going to make you seasick a little bit because we're going to have to move the camera over since my project is a stool and I can't do it on a table. Okay, now he's working with the guava. Now, this particular paste is retired. We just came out with our brand new catalog, and sadly, we have to say goodbye to some transfers and some paste colors to make room for the new ones to come in. And guava is one of them, but the nice thing, again, like I said, with Couture you can customize. So even though Mike's using a paste that may not be available, we have other beautiful colors. I think there's 36 or 39 paste colors, and we have, I think, 28 ink, because you don't just have paste, we have ink as well. So for fabrics and glass and things like that, with heat setting, that'll become permanent. And if Mike wants to make this more permanent, he can put a spray finish on it. That's what I would recommend, is a spray as opposed to a brush, because you don't want to reactivate the paste. I don't know if he's going to plan on finishing it with any surface.
Not tonight.
Oh no, I know not tonight. I just didn't know if you were going to seal it, because it's going to be an indoor decoration, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. You better speed up there.
You'll notice I can't talk and work at the same time.
Can you walk and chew gum at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, it looks like our, now it's slowing up again. I was going to say, it looks like our feed is coming along well. You're going to wash that before I spray that. Or, yeah, before I dry that, not spray. Just check on things here. Well, it appears we have sound on our side. I hope everything is working out on Facebook side, that you can hear us. Okay. Are you finished with that now, that transfer, or do you have to?
Yeah, while you're working on yours, I'm going to add some words to mine.
Well, I thought you were going to finish yours and then I do mine, because we can't record both at the same time. We don't have the room.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. And that'll give the transfer some time to dry. I'll dry this. Looking nice, Mike. Even though mine will be better.
I don't think the voting is done yet.
Well, the voting hasn't started yet, but in my mind, I've won. You're making a mess. That's why you put the lid back on when you're done. Uh-huh. Okay. Let me take this. I'm going to peel it back a little bit. So I can just use paper towel right now. He's trying to sabotage me with a dirty transfer.
Lee?
Yeah.
Okay, that's on.
Yeah, before I put this, once you're done, I'll finish drying I'll use the fuzzing towel to finish drying the transfer, so that I get good stick to the. Where are you taking that?
Just moving it, because you got to move the camera.
I thought you were going to finish this and then I'll do it. Yeah, finish yours first.
I thought you were going to.
No, I said finish yours first. I'm going to let mine dry. the transfer dry some.
Well, seeing that I measured twice and measured wrong, I'm going to grab. Did you get the joyful one back up here?
Yeah, I think it might be on the lower section. The lower.
This one? No.
That's where I thought you were keeping it. Why are you taking the joyful one?
Because I have to fill in. It's not going to fill in like I want it to if I don't use that.
Well, we have other transfers. You can do friends, family, memories. You can do it, the 3 that we have out, use all 3 of them instead of 2 of them.
How did it disappear?
I will look for it. I just think these 3 would look nice on it. You know, that you have it. You know, it's your design. I'm just making a suggestion. I will look for the transfer.
Now I'll deal with these since they're current. They're fuzzy.
Those may not need to be fuzzed because they're well loved. Those are ones that have been used more than a dozen times, so you may not need to fuzz those.
No, this one doesn't seem like it's been used as much as the other one.
And they're just stained because I had used red on them. So they're still usable.
This is messing with my OCD.
Are you doing those all the same color?
Yes.
You just decided that on the spot, didn't you?
Done.
You're done. Stick a fork in it, you're done.
Let's find the black velvet, which I thought I had out, but I didn't because I wasn't going to use it.
Oh, I thought you were using white for that.
That's ink. That's right there.
Okay, no, it's down here. Sorry, guys, we're leaving you with a blank screen.
Well, I had everything out.
There it is.
There we go.
I thought you were doing it in white.
Best laid plans.
That's going to need stirring.
Best laid plans.
You want your paste yogurt consistency. As you saw, Mike struggled a little bit in the beginning with his green. Yeah. And it was a little harder to work with. And this way, when you pick up the stir, you want it to drip off a little bit, kind of like you're eating yogurt, or if you were doing a dollop of sour cream. But when you put your transfers down, rubbing over them, you don't want, the worst sound to have is that pop, knowing that you have a bubble that you may have bled out. And on this particular surface, it might be a little harder to recover because it's such a rough surface. Even though you might be able to recover from certain colors, but black's a tough one to recover from.
But you can always say you meant for it to be distressed. So.
Yes, we'll take a page from Jess's.
That's right.
Live.
I meant to do that.
I like it that way.
Yeah, I didn't line that up. I meant to do that.
Meant to do that. Oh, let me get out of your way. I don't want an elbow to the face. But mine won't take nearly as long.
I'm a newbie, so.
Just make sure did you get over, sometimes it's hard with the staining to see. Okay, all right, I just wanted to make sure. I don't want to hear foul. Well, I thought it was this, but it wasn't.
Too much talking going on, that's what it is.
You'd love it.
Too much talking going on.
Okay, and he's just putting these transfers in a water bath since they're smaller. The big one was just too big to put in the tub, and what happens is the sticky part becomes less sticky, so they won't stick to each other in there. Are you going to show it? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
spin it around so they can read it right side up.
Okay. Let me just see what it looks like to make sure. Okay. Why? Why are the words backwards this time? I don't know. The last time I did it, the words weren't backwards. So I apologize, but it says family, memories, and friends because it's showing up backwards. But nice job. My favorite's the blue. I think that was sharper.
I was going to try and fuzz in some white there, but
yeah,
things dried too fast.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, so what I'm
set that off over here.
What I'm going to do is bring the large transfer back in, and I'm going to finish drying it with the other side of our fuzzing towel, which is filthy. I really need to clean that. No, this is fine because I have to clean it. So I may as well finish dirtying it tonight. I'm just trying to get more of the moisture out. Okay.
Why is it still showing?
Hi, Anaya. Welcome, welcome.
That's a heck of a delay.
Yes, Mike is not used to the delay. Mike has already finished his project, but we will show them together at the end. But I'm going to make you a little seasick because I have to move my camera to get to my project because it's a stool.
It's on the floor.
It's on the floor. And we'll try to get it so that you can see it. So we'll try to be as gentle as possible, hoping I am not freezing up here. Let me just check to make sure we're in frame here.
The delay is not helping.
Well, I guess you see most of it now. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I just want to make sure I can see the comments too. So, where is my paste? Here it is. I will be using the peony, and Mike was kind enough to sand and paint my stool, so it's a satin.
I win either way.
Yeah. It's still the finished project, not the I painted what isn't really going to be seen part of the project. So I'm stirring my paste. I figured he mostly had his stuff done before we went live. That's pretty close. Maybe just one spritz.
Figured there's no need to watch me stir paint. You're watching it dry.
Mm-hmm. That was my line from earlier. You stole it. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to use a larger squeegee because I have a bigger surface. And the idea, thank you. I just have to try not to let it stick on itself here, but position it in a way that I'm happy. I want this over a little bit because that has a hard edge. But I'm just doing mine in one color. Ouch.
I don't have nails,
You
so
got me,
yeah,
yes sir. So I'm using our angled squeegee just to spread out the transfer, just to make sure I get all the bubbles out. Since Mike's was a more involved a more involved project, I'm doing the KISS method. Keep it simple, sweetie. I'm being sweet. Okay. Hi, Anaya. Glad you could make it. Okay, helps if I do it on the right side. So this is a big transfer, so I'm just going to spread out some paste. I'm just making sure I'm still in frame. Yep, still in frame. And start, if you can make a peanut butter sandwich, if you can icing
Ice.
the cupcake. That just doesn't sound right.
Well, if you can ice a cupcake.
Yeah, if you can ice a cupcake, yeah. You can do this. I have a friend who said, I can't do any of this, and I'm bound and determined to get her to try this, just because you can be a creative person and not be able to draw. I can't draw stick figures, but I can do this. My mother, who's 89 years old, she has arthritis in her shoulders and neck. She did a project and it turned out beautiful. And people looked at it and said, you did that? And it's like, yes, I did. And she's so proud of it. Just get what I put out. I probably should have gotten the real big squeegee out, the one that looks like you could wash windows with. Because I don't want this to dry out. But I'm a little faster than you are with it.
It's because you're nice.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm not as picky. Trash talk. But I'm also not taking as long. So when you only have maybe 15 minutes or so, I'm not done.
Just helping. There you go.
And that wasn't even the screen. The only part you really need to make sure you get your paste.
That was part of the berries.
Them's the berries. Them's the berries. And if this comes out distressed, it's exactly what I wanted. That's what they all say. Because I'm trying not to have to pick it up and dry it. Yeah, we've been having some technical issues in there. I think it's been... Yes, I know, dear. Thank you.
Just help me.
I appreciate it.
It's the shady side of the life.
The wind has really given us grief, and I think it's kicked people off. Kristen was here earlier, and I think she got frustrated because kept freezing up. Okay, we're getting close. Just doing a quick. That's what I'm scraping around. So, I mean, this is using more than we normally do, but it's a big area. Okay, and here kind of drum roll. Oh, do it from there. We don't want to stretch. Ooh. Ah. Not perfect, but I like it. I like it.
Nice.
Looks very nice. Now,
almost as nice as mine.
Not quite as yours is nice, but not quite as nice as mine. You can hold that. I'm just going to dry it real quick so I don't bump it. I really like the contrast. I'm trying to think about wrapping it around the edges to do it, but I was afraid I'd have too many bubbles. I'm not trying to get this dry completely, but just enough to move it so you can see it. What I'll do is I'll put it on the side of the table for right now, because I think we're going to have to clean that big one in the tub. Yes. So I'm going to hold this up. And hopefully you'll be able to see it. Yeah. I see a smudge, but I can deal with it. And you bring yours over, Mike. So if you're voting, you vote Michelle, if you like mine better. And this is Mike. Sadly, I don't understand why my lettering is the lettering showing backwards. Let me just make sure he's in frame. Bring it.
Now, is that how they're seeing it, how we see it?
Yes.
This
Yes, but the lettering
shows
still
upside
back.
down.
It's still backwards. Yeah, I did something else, and obviously I did something
You
different.
got the blue, and you got the nice other color.
Yeah, that was the guava. I like the blue better. So let me get back to see the comments. Yeah, so yeah, Naya said if she can do this stuff, anyone can. No, you have more artistic ability than you give yourself credit for. Don't give me that. But do you have a vote, Anaya? I mean, we're giving people time to watch the replays, people who couldn't come in tonight. So you can be our first official voter. What are you?
I'm showing my practice.
He's showing his practice work right now. Let me make sure you're in frame. It's backwards. Again, I don't know why the lettering, it did not do that before, but I must have done something wrong. But it's less house, more home. That's what he practiced on.
Did your phone do the other way?
No, I haven't. Well, I can do it if it were reversed, yes. But that you don't get to vote on. That's your practice.
No,
that's just a practice. So can you? All right, drum roll. All right, Anaya. Mike or Michelle, you're our first voter. Which one do you like best? Again, it's all in good fun. We had fun doing it, but it's bragging rights. Let me get to the stool. Yay! Yay! Happy dance, happy dance.
You want to show what the next project's going to be?
Well, I don't know what the next oh, okay. We're going to show you what the next project is going to be. The basic of. We know it's not. We know it's past Christmas. You want to tell the story of this?
Well, we got a good deal at AC Moore. They were 40 cents a piece. So what we're going to do, we bought about 7 of them. I've already taken the handles off the other ones. We're going to
paint it.
Spray painted it, whatever color each of us wants to do it. And then we'll both take the same transfer, but make a different tray.
Right. So we'll design it either using partial transfer or the whole transfer. So we think that'll be fun. So next week is yeah, but I think you think I sabotaged it.
I sabotaged myself.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. No, his turned out really nicely. I'm proud of him. But I know next Friday night is Valentine's Day, and
so we'll be talking to ourselves.
We'll be talking to ourselves, like
people can watch it on replay.
Yes, we'll watch on replay, and maybe we'll try to do something romantic with it, like serve candy or strawberries on it or something like that. Make it sweet. But I just want to show people. Let me just get back into my site here and post. See, aren't I fancy, Anaya? So it's chalkingwithmichelle.com, and that will take you directly to my VIP customer group if you're not already a part of it. You can share that link with anyone, and please share our live tonight. I think people will get a kick out of it, and if you get a chance, watch from the beginning, and they'll explain how Mike got involved in it to begin with. I think the woman who kind of suggested it, her name was Lonnie. So it's fun, and I even did one of these with Tirza that was very, very funny because she fell off a chair. So it was the one that it was an inking project, inked a bag that says "I love naps" on it. So if you get a chance, you can watch that. But I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and I hope that, like I said, you'll watch it from the beginning, and anyone who's watching this on replay, please do hashtag replay so I know that you've watched. And this again is the project we're doing next week. We have to do a little sanding and painting, and then we'll come up with a transfer. I'm getting a shipment in tomorrow, and we can pick those and see what original idea we can come up with. So it's been a lot of fun. Again, share the live and share my link there. And I appreciate you coming in, sweetie. Oh, she's impressed. Okay, have a great night. I'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye. Make sure the live is off.
Should I line that up a little better?
Okay, at least we had Kristen, I think, probably got frustrated with